I call this Pahokee City Commission Tuesday, April the 14th, 2026 to order at 6:07 p.m. May we please stand for the invocation provided by Commissioner Everett McPherson Sr., followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly and gracious God, we come to you with bowed heads and humble hearts, Father. Father, we come to you submitting this city unto your hands, Father. Father, we ask that you just touch our city, Father. Touch each and every one of our leaders, Father. Father, whatever decision is made tonight, that it be one that you will be glorified in, Father. Father, we ask that your precious Son, Jesus, continue to watch over the citizens of Pahokee, Father. Father, that you just give us the wisdom and the knowledge to be able to move this city forward. Father, we just thank you for another opportunity to come before your presence. Father, we just thank you in Jesus' mighty name. Let everybody say amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Babb.
Present.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
Present.
Commissioner McDonald.
Present.
Commissioner McPherson.
Present.
Commissioner Scott.
Present.
Interim City Manager. She's present in the audience. City Attorney. Here. And City Clerk is present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, staff. And most importantly, thank our audience for being here this afternoon to participate and witness us as we deliberate in our process of our commission meeting. First, we would have our
We have additions. There's two additions. There are two additions for the agenda. There are two additions for the agenda. There are two additions for the agenda. So I can go ahead.
Our interim city manager is being interviewed for the permanent city manager position, so she won't be at this particular proceeding at this time. We'll have our city clerk kind of guide and assist us in that particular area, along with our HR director if needed. At this time, do we have any additions to our agenda, City Clerk?
Yes, sir. There are two additions. The first one is Resolution 2026-12, and that resolution, if approved, would allow for the adding of Ms. Tamara Dowdell, the city's new finance director, to the PNC bank account. And the second addition would be Resolution 2026-13, and that is for you guys to consider appointing a vice mayor per charter. Appointing a vice mayor. So every April of each year, a vice mayor has to be selected. Each April.
Oh,
Yes. So each April of every year, you guys have to consider appointing a vice mayor.
Okay.
Mr. Love, you out of order, officer. If he speak out of order again, we're gonna remove him from this chamber. We're not gonna have this. This is not a circus. This is an important event that we're having today. City Commission hearing the two add-ons. What would be your pleasure to the agenda, the two resolutions?
I move that we accept the amendments to the agenda as noted.
I'll second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McDonough and properly seconded by Vice Mayor Williams for the addition of the two resolution that was added. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we have presentation, proclamation, public service announcement. City Clerk, at this time, do we have any
Yes, sir.
presentations?
No presentations, but we do have quite a few comment cards. The first one would be Ms. Shanitra Moore.
Good evening, Mayor Bab.
Good evening.
Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and staff. My name is Shanitria Moore, and the name of my company is She Holdings LLC. I'm here representing a company named Bristol Hospice. Bristol Hospice is one of the companies that is applying for an open CON, which is Certificate of Needs for Hospice Services here in Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County is growing by leaps and bounds, so not only are they going to open it up for one hospice, they're going to open it up for 2 additional hospices to keep up with the growth for Palm Beach County. I'm here because I want to ask for you all support. Bristol is dedicated to supporting the Tri-County area, Belglade, Pahokee, and South Bay, reaching out to find out what are some of the needs of the community, not just looking surface, but reaching out to some of the local initiatives to see what we can do as a community partner for Pahokee. I will send additional information out to your offices. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach back out to me. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
The next person is Ms. Antoinette Kelly.
Good afternoon to everyone in the building, the board, good afternoon. My name is Antoinette Kelly, and I reside at 800 McClure Road, Lot H, Pahokee, Florida. I have concerns about our city. I don't see anything being done, and my question is to everyone that's on the board, when you ride through our city, what are your thoughts? Are you comfortable with what you see? Are you comfortable the way you ride in your vehicle on our roads? Are you comfortable that there's nowhere to stay there's nowhere for residents in our community to live? Are you all comfortable with the way that our city is being ran? Because the way it's being ran, I don't like it. So when you go home tonight, we can probably talk about it at the next city meeting. Just think about, do you like what you see when you ride through your town that you represent? Thank you.
Thank you. See if it's off, Kurt. See if it's on. Cut it, you can cut it on for it. Just tap the mic to it, make sure.
No, there you go.
Okay. IT coming. Thank you.
The next person is Ms. Cynthia Hall.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to piggyback off what Ms. Kelly said about the living condition we have in Pahokee with the roads, nowhere for the kids to go, no grocery store where you could go to, but only one. And just let's get together and make some things happen in Pahokee, because we can do it. We all can do it. So let's work with Ms. Bussey, and we can get this done. You know, it's not a hard job. It's very easy. Pahokee is a small town. A small town now, it's going to take a lot of money to get it where it needs to be. And if we work with Ms. Bussey and all us work together, not only the commissioners, the mayor and whoever, not all of us, all of Pahokee, let's come together, get with Ms. Bussey. And we don't want to, it's not about Ms. Bussey, it's about our city, what we living in. You know, Ms. Bussey is fine, Pahokee's not. Believe you me, it's not. I don't spend over $8,000 to fix my car, and it's still not fixed because of the roads. Anybody gonna help me pay for my car? Anybody gonna give me some money? I don't want the car, buy me one. Because when it get fixed, you're gonna, no, the road's not fixed. When you step out of your house, step out to a beautiful town like me. I step out, but look at Pahokee. Look at the roads. Come on, we can do this. Don't we can do this. Let's come together, let's do it. All this fighting and boxing each other, we not moving. We wanna move. I've never seen so many people in this building since I've been coming to a commissioner meeting. This is important. This means something to the peoples in Pahokee. Y'all wanna bite each other head off? And we're not getting anywhere. Holding back progress. Things could have been done. Come on, we too grown for this. You all are too grown. If you don't want to step up, get up. Them young men back there, they'll hold the door for you. You don't want to step up, get up and go so we can move. Only thing we got looking good in Pahokee is the bank and the fire department. That's it. And you all sitting up there like you're all of this and you're all of that, trying to hold back progress. Come on, please, stop it. Stop it.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I did good.
The next person is Mr. Love. Mr. Love.
2638 Gateway Drive East, West Palm Beach, Florida, by way of Pahokee. Y'all know I come up here every time I get a chance. And I'm coming here to tell some people tonight about how they behave now since they ain't got the 3-2 vote. Keith, y'all set y'all behind here, and whoever running against me, whoever in this
You speaking
process,
to the commission.
whoever in this application process, Keith, they see how y'all treat Miss Bussey. I don't see how they can come behind Miss Bussey and know y'all gonna treat them the same way if they don't do what y'all want them to do. Y'all treat Miss Bussey like that because she won't do what y'all want them to do. St. Quetta.
You address the
Keith,
commissioner.
I'm addressing
and
the
the
commissioner.
chair.
I'm calling y'all by your name, but acting like you ain't got no sense up there, acting like we some dummies. I have never, and I've been coming up here since 1998, and you know it, Keith. I have never seen where they hire an intern, where they have an intern, and then they come back with a process where we gonna hire somebody that's not been anything over the intern. If the Bussey don't get it, how y'all gonna hire somebody over her? And she been here 6 months. And the person what y'all trying to hire, they haven't been here 6 minutes. I ain't getting to that point. Y'all have never, ever hired somebody over an intern. Now why it happening now? Because here's some things done start falling from the tree because we keep shaking the tree. Between you, the attorney, Ms. Cowan, the clerk, y'all doing all of this here. All of this is because of y'all. And I told Ms. Bussey last night, have 20 police out there tonight. Like when y'all got ready to hire Lucas after you had done said you wasn't gonna hire him. They came back, they kissed your butt enough, and then you came back and hired him. And then the night we sitting up in here, time we walked out the door, 14 police at that, and 4 of them had dogs in the car. Blacks on black crime. Black on black crime, that's all it is up here. And like I can tell y'all, you see you got a couple of white people right there tonight. Y'all ran them all out of here. The white people were built and helped made this town, y'all done ran them away. That's why ain't no money here. That's why the county won't come. Because y'all racist prejudice behind said keep you one of them. And St. Croix, you done felt that, you done got right in his butt. I can tell y'all about your behind because I know you. Y'all is earthly no good to this town. This morning they were putting people out of the Pahokee building. Where the mayor and the vice mayor? I bet you if you was in Belgrade, Steve Wilson would have been there with bells on. These people won't show up for nothing. And all y'all were behind them, y'all ain't showing up either.
Aaron Taylor. Next person is Aaron Taylor.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm just going to hold this up because I can't bend over like that. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. All right, fantastic. I'm actually just here. I come periodically to show my support for the things going on in Pahokee, even though I don't live out here. I've been working with the city of Pahokee off and on for years when I worked with the county and since when I've been in the private sector. And I'm kind of stuck in the middle because I'm not here to have been a part of the history that has caused some of this conflict. So I can't take sides or play on that. Here's the side that I'm on. I'm on the side of progress. Amen. Progress, that's it. So when I look between the various city commissioners that have been here over the years, the various city managers that have been here over the years, and the city, everybody talks about progress, but I see very few people willing to do what it takes to make it. And that's on both sides, right? There are the things that have to happen politically to make things happen. There's a process that needs to happen. There's also community involvement that needs to make that happen, right? Then there's the knowledge and the connections to make that happen, and that's kind of where I come in. For the little bit of time I've been involved with the city, I've tried to be this bridge to show people that the city of Pahokee is not exactly what they perceive it to be in the East community. But sadly, to my disappointment, coming to some of these meetings proves the very narrative that you're trying to get away from. So when the cameras roll, and this is on YouTube and everywhere else, how you conduct yourselves and how you handle your disagreements makes a difference to decide whether people are going to come here at all. White, black, the only thing that matters for progress is how you get along. How many people here claim to be Christian? Because I hear Jesus spoken to a lot, all right? Doesn't the Bible say that how can two walk together unless they agree? I've never seen more disagreement in any municipality other than here. So if we're going to talk from a spiritual standpoint, I need everybody to check themselves both on this side and that one and say, what is in my heart that causes me to come against my neighbor without cause? If the goal is for progress, then how your personal feelings about somebody is irrelevant to what needs to happen to move the city forward. Okay? So I'm only here to show that even somebody from an outside community that is trying to be a catalyst for progress, you guys have to check yourselves and each other on how you conduct, how you treat one another. This is the only municipality I know that has gone through 4 or 5 city managers in the time that I've been doing stuff here. That doesn't happen. I don't know the reasons why.
Mr. Aaron, if I could speak to the commission, not the audience.
My apologies. I don't really know the history behind why. I just know that the perception of the people that I'm speaking to try to paint a picture that Pahokee is a place worth investing in, it causes them concern. Because they're investing millions of dollars in time to come out here and they need to know their projects and move forward. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
The next person is Lolita Sobers.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lolita Kine Sobers, aka Scratch Scratch. I reside at 290 Parkview Court, Pahokee. And I just want to get up here to say that our mayor, Mrs. Mayor Babb, I heard you say one night that our city is not moving forward because of the city managers that coming in and out of our city. So my thing is, what are we going through all this for when we have a city manager, an intern city manager, that's trying to do something for our city, trying to make our city grow? This lady is going to be above and beyond for our city. Whenever things are going wrong in this city, I never see the Vice Mayor Sanquetta nowhere. I never see you, Mayor Babb, anywhere. And Ms. Bussey is the only one showing up for these citizens. This lady is really making things happen in our city. And that's what we really need for our city. Amen. We need someone that cares about the citizens, someone that cares about our city, which evidently you don't, because you've been up there over 30-some years, Mayor Babb. This city looking like rundown. It's regular. Cars tearing up. I have 2 vehicles, and one of them is a Mercedes-Benz that I had to get a front end alignment done to, and I don't even want to tell you how much it costs at Mercedes. I have a Lincoln that I done spent $3,000 on getting my front end done. I was in the car with a mechanic that was fixing one of my daughter's car. That man was riding down McClure Road, hit a hole, and you hear the car just went to railing. The man say, my God, I done tore my front end up. This is sad. It's pitiful. We need leaders up here that's gonna lead, that's gonna make our city grow, that's willing to do what they are paid to do to get our city back on track. Man, Babb, you are not the one. Sanquetta, you're not the one. And we have a lawyer sitting up there that won't even do her job. And you know why this lady can't do her job? Because she is up under y'all. When money get missing in this city, it's up to y'all to tell this lady to press charges on somebody. When y'all goes out and drop charges on people that's stealing from the city. We don't need those type of leaders in our city. Because our city will never grow with leaders like y'all sitting up there. Y'all sit up there hollering about you're not my first choice and Miss Bussey not my second choice. What kind of mayor does that to an intern city manager that's trying to make things happen in our city? With this lady up here, people is willing to come in and help this lady build our city up. They willing. Sarah Baxter, I hope she's looking. These people want to work with this lady. But y'all don't want this lady up here, and y'all don't want no one up here that's gonna make this city grow, that's gonna do something for the citizen. Why? My question is why? Can I please get one answer? Why? Well, have a nice day. I know I ain't gonna get you mute. Have a great day.
The next person is Nathaniel Holmes.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mayor.
Afternoon.
Vice Mayor, all the commissioners. I've been here now about close to 2 months. When I retired from the sheriff's office, I went to Valdosta, and I was living there. And I came because basically my wife has got an illness, diabetes, and I brought her back home. But I didn't come to fuss, I didn't come to fight. When I came, I was fixing up my house, one of the family home in Citizen Village. And I've been getting a lot of trouble. One of them is, every time I try to do something, we got a code enforcer. Listen, I have no problem obeying the law. That's what we have to do. Mayor, let me say this. I'm gonna sit down. I was having this young man fixing my house for me. I put about close to $50,000 in my house since I've been here 2 months. And while we were doing it, he wrote this code enforcer. I ain't calling no name because I don't want to do that.
code enforcement pulled up. And so I went out there to talk with him. And I said, everything's okay? Do I need to do anything? Oh, no, you okay, you okay. The next day, he said, shut it down. He just told me everything was okay. Then he come and tell me to shut it down. I said, shut it down? Yeah, you putting brand new windows in and you need a permit. Okay, all they had to do is tell me that the day earlier that I needed a permit. So the next day he came in my home, opened the door. My wife, God bless her soul, she had on a Brazil. He walks in my house. But I tried to keep my peace, I held my peace. But I told the city manager, I said, Ms. Bussey, I said, I know this got to be against the law. No one's supposed to come in a person's house like that. He didn't knock on the door. He just opened my door and said, it's shutting it down. So, was that the bell?
Yes, sir.
All right. But anyway, I love y'all guys.
Thank you.
See you later.
The last comment.
One more
for this-
thing. Please do something about this situation, because if I was like I used to be, I might have would have put a couple knots upside this dude's head. But I'm trying to live a decent life. And I'm not perfect, nobody is. But whatever.
He good, he didn't tell you to sit up.
Mr. Love, the next time you make a comment outside of this meeting, you're gonna be escorted out of here.
The last comment is for this section is Rep. Weinberger.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Well, I have only been involved with many of you for a short time, but I've appreciated getting to know each of you. And it's, as a representative and a new representative, there's so many people that you're learning and meeting and trying to help regularly. So I've really enjoyed when Tammy has reached out to me. Honestly, to have the invites for the Christmas parade, which you see Annabelle, my little puppy, who comes to the Capitol with me every day. Sorry, but she goes with me everywhere, even the Speaker's office. But it's really nice to have those invites and to get to know you guys and to see when you ask for something from the state, it makes me want to fight that much harder. And to have a relationship with somebody like Tammy, it's impressive, and to have somebody that cares so much. And I have some remarks, and she has quite the background, and the fact that she's from here, it just, to me, you really feel when somebody truly cares and it's coming from their heart. And I think that you guys, I can tell, obviously you probably all agree, sorry, but it's a gift, and I really truly hope that that the process, however it moves forward, that you guys truly do soul searching, and you have a really special person that wants to do a lot for your community. And I also feel the same way. I want to fix those roads. I want to make sure that Pahokee keeps moving forward. Whatever I can do, whatever infrastructure I can help with at a state level, and whatever businesses I can help bring and kind of bring to the table. But I truly believe when you have somebody like Tammy leading you guys and working together with you, I really feel like you're going to get a lot done. So I wanted to make sure that I came out and spoke on her behalf, because I've been very impressed and I've appreciated the relationship that she has continued to cultivate with me and my team, and to invite us out and to talk to us regularly, and honestly, even coming to the Capitol. So whatever I can do to facilitate, I'm happy to be a part of, and just please make sure we keep this open communications amazing. And I hope that the next time I come out is to celebrate my favorite city manager here in Pahokee. So thanks guys for having me.
That is all for this section.
Thank you. Next, we'll move to,
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor Bab. Actually, Mr. Porter. My apologies.
Good afternoon. I'm not going to stay too long. I'm not going to preach, but I just want to read the verse of the day from my Bible app, and it goes, Isaiah 53:6. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us have turned away from turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the inequity of us all. And I say that to say, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all gonna stray away like sheep, as they say. But we gotta remember it's God's way. God is going. You gotta have the understanding that you don't understand anything. So you trying to put your spin on it. You're trying to put your finesse stuff and do different stuff. It's not gonna turn out how you want it to turn out in the end, because God has the last say at all times. And so if we just do what's right in your heart and understand and just follow that path, it makes stuff a lot easier than trying to finagle stuff. So just like everybody else said, really just need to work together and do the right thing, get on the same path and progress the city, man. And you know, it's self-explanatory. I'm not gonna get up here and preach to y'all for too long. Just put it in your heart to do what's right by God, not by you, not by your family, not by your interests. Just do what's right by God.
That is all.
thank you. At this time, we'll move into the next part of our agenda, which will be conducting interviews for the city manager position. We are going to be asking a series of questions. I would ask that the interim, not interim, she's actually the permanent HR director, be the one to ask the question, and we just rate the score of the response, if that would be okay with everyone. Our city clerk will call the applicants by list, and we would then conduct the interview process, and after that, we would rate them, and hopefully by the end of that process, we will be able to select our permanent city manager. So if the HR, if you can come up and begin this process. And city clerk, when we get ready, you announce the first candidate to come forward. Each one of them, I believe we have a total of 10 questions, and they would do a introduction to the committee, commission, and the audience. Okay. Who's gonna take it? Who's gonna take it?
She can sit there, but
It doesn't matter. You can sit in my chair if you need to, it doesn't matter.
That's what I was trying to do, just have them slide the chairs
it's
down.
fine now. No, you don't.
No, you don't have to now.
Well, it's the mayor.
You can stay there. She can sit right here for now.
It don't matter.
Stay in your seat.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Boulay?
We're gonna do them in order of them listed on your.
So you want to do them in alphabetical order by last name?
You're gonna have all the candidates to sit outside.
Yeah, however
So
they're
it's up
listed
to-
on here is fine.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Alphabetical order by last
Yeah.
name? Okay.
You have
So
the
Brian-
rating sheet?
So Brian will be first. They're gonna follow the order of the agenda, so how it's listed, that's how they'll go. It's up to them. But no, it's in your folder. Yes, you should have everything.
You got the rating sheet?
It should be 3 because it's only 3 candidates. I put everything in your folder. It's folder right here.
Okay.
So who's
I don't see the rating sheets.
So the first candidate will be Brenda Bryant. How long are we giving each candidate?
They only have 2 questions.
Okay, so, so the other 2 candidates that are here would have to follow Ms. Boulay Washington. Sorry. Okay.
Good afternoon, Ms. Bryant. Thank you for your time today. You're going to be asked a total of 10 questions. After you've asked the questions, we've asked you all the questions, you will get the opportunity to ask us a question or ask the commissioners questions, and then that would end your interview process. Okay?
I have a
And we're gonna
document before you start that I would like to give to the commissioners.
So you're going to start out by introducing yourself and telling the commissioners and the audience a little about yourself, and then we're going to go right into the questions.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I have documented my information because there was so much. I tried to limit it to the time frame. And do I have a time frame? No. Thank you. So good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and to all in the Assembly. My name is Brenda Bryant. I am appreciative for the opportunity to present to you as possibly becoming your next city manager of Pahokee. To give you a little about myself, I was born in Belle Glade, Florida, and my family relocated to Pahokee when I was in the 4th grade. I'm a proud graduate of Pahokee Junior Senior High School. Upon completing high school I continued my education at Florida A&M University, where I earned a bachelor's in information technology. I am a trained computer programmer. Later in my career, I returned to college at Nova Southeastern University, where I earned a master's in business administration. And after further work, I returned to Nova Southeastern University, and I earned a master's of management with a focus on leadership. I have over 30 years of executive leadership experience, beginning as an entry-level computer programmer and rising to the ranks of Vice President of Information Technology. I have a strong foundation in strategic planning, operational management, budgeting, project management, community engagement, problem solving, and morale improvement. The last 3 years of my work experience have been in government. I asked the legislative aide for one of the longest serving senators in the state of Florida. I manage her Glaze office. In this process, I work directly with municipalities such as Belglade, South Bay, and the village of Wellington. I am the liaison between those municipalities and the senator. In this role, I attend commission meetings, coordinate with local leadership, and as well as residents. I help navigate and resolve solutions and resolve problems that they have with the state of Florida, whether it be agencies or any other. I put them directly in contact with the person that can resolve their problems. This experience have given me an even clearer working understanding of municipalities, appropriations, and intergovernment collaborations. Skills that I think are essential for city management. Throughout my career, I've consistently focused on improving organizational performances and building stronger, accountable teams, which have led to accomplishments such as increasing productivity by over 40%, managing large-scale budgets in excess of $20 million, departmental restructuring, and successfully implementing systems that improve efficiencies and service deliverables. What sets me apart is that I have a strong belief in transparency, accountability, and data-informed decision-making. I work to create environments where staff feels empowered, supported, and responsible for outcomes. I am a 2025 graduate of Leadership Glaze. Through Leadership Glaze, I have earned, as well as already known from living here in Pahokee, both the challenges and the opportunities that exist in my hometown. From economic development and workforce readiness, to infrastructure and community trust, to demucking for safe, stable housing, and issues facing road restructuring. My services on the Belglade Chamber Board of Directors, the Career Readiness Roundtable, and the LORE Group have further strengthened my relationship with local businesses and stakeholders in the community, which I believe is critical for driving sustainable growth. This is more than a position for me. It is the ability to pay it forward to the community that raised me, the community that invested in me, and the community that helped me to create the success that I have over the last 30+ years. I would be honored to lead this progress in the city of Pahokee. Thank you again for your time and consideration, and I look forward to your questions.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get this question started.
Okay.
The first question would, why have you applied for the city manager position with the city of Pahokee? This is a two-part question. And why do you think you are the best suited to be the city manager?
So I applied for this position because, as I stated earlier, I was born in the Glades and raised in Pahokee. I have been here for the length of time. Even though I did move away after college to Miami, I was back home every month. So I was directly related to what was going on in Pahokee. My family is still here. And so after coming back to Pahokee, I got directly involved with organizations that could make an impact to the community, that was making an impact to the community. And so I got involved with them so that I can help the Glades area as well as my city. Again, it's a little personal for me because I've seen everything that has gone on in the Glades. I believe that there is room for improvement to continue to keep this city moving forward and to make a path for our youth. The workforce is critical here, and that we need housing, we need job opportunities for our youth, and we also need to just make sure that we are using the resources that we have the best way that we can. Lake Okeechobee is a gem, and there is so much opportunity that we can make with Lake Okeechobee. And so that is my reason for applying. I've had over 30 years of business experience, executive experience, and the city, which most people may not say, but it is a business, and it needs to operate as a business. So I believe that I can add to that process and help the city continue its forward movement. The second part of your question, I think I answered both of them, but.
And why do you think you are the best suited to be the city manager?
I believe that I am the best suited for this position because, as I stated earlier, I have hands-on experience in business. The last 3 years, I've had hands-on experience in government. I have helped the residents throughout the city, including the city of Pahokee, even though they are not in the district that I serve currently. I've helped them with appropriations. I've helped them with understanding government and getting them in contact with the correct persons in Tallahassee to help resolve their problems. I've given them direct access to that information, as well as reviewing their appropriations and making sure they had everything that they need to succeed. And the two other individuals that I helped, just to name a few, their appropriations were approved on the first try by both the Senate and the House, even though the governor cut it later because the two sites were billions of dollars apart, so the governor had to make cuts. And it makes sense that he cut new entry that was coming in. The second person that I helped is actually in the city of Pahokee, and she was also putting in an appropriation her first time. So I met with them to share with them what they needed to do, who they needed to talk to, the committees that are in place, and how to direct that process so that they can get the information that they need.
You ready for the next question?
Yes, I am.
How would you handle conflicts within the city of Pahokee?
Good question. So conflict, regardless of how much we prepare, conflict will occur. In my past, I have presented conflict resolutions workshops on how do we deal with it. We all are different. We all have different needs, different wants, and different goals. With the city of Pahokee, we should have one goal, and that is whatever is best for the city. So in handling conflict with that, the first thing I do is listen. I listen to the other person because you can gain a lot by listening to the person. To see what the real issue is, because eventually it will come out. After listening to that person, then we will set ground rules of what we will and will not do. There is respect that is due to everyone. And so we will respect each other's opinions, and then we will deal with facts. Whatever their concerns are, we deal with them head on. But throughout the process, we will respect each other. The city have procedures, they have guidelines, there are sunshine laws, and then there are rules of ethics. We have to ensure that we follow all of those things so that we do not get the city in additional chaos or in areas that would require lawsuits or anything else. So again, just dealing with those items in general, dealing with the individual, and looking out for the best resolution that will move the city forward is how we will conduct the conflict. In addition to that, there are guidelines and there are steps of leadership. And so whoever that person is, we look at the rank of that leadership as well, because what we don't want to do is overstep anyone in their position. So whatever that conflict is, then we resolve it head on. We have a mayor in place. Whether you agree with the mayor or not, he is our leader in the city of Pahokee. And so we go from there. We have commissioners, and there are visions in place. There are visions that are in place for the city of Pahokee. So again, we contact all of those, we look at all of those items, and then we rank whatever that conflict is, so that we can disagree, we can agree to disagree, because we may never come to the same conclusion or the same point, but in hindsight, we have to continue moving forward.
Next question. Explain your understanding of the principles of the city budget.
So,
of city budgeting.
City budgeting. So I have worked with budgets my entire career, starting back 20, 30 years ago, working with budgets. The first thing we have to do is to look at what the resources are and how resources are coming in. Then we look at our expenses. What are the continuing expenses that we have to apply, that we have to adhere to? And then we set a standard in place to see how much we have after those necessities have been paid. If we have any, then we apply those based on, again, the guidelines and the programs and the projects that are already outlined. If there are no funds remaining, then we have a huge problem, because now we need to look at how do we bring other funds in to meet the budget. Because every item on the budget that I've worked with in the past, there's a line item. The budget is itemized. And so first we go through, again, whatever the city's requirements are to make sure that those requirements are handled. If not, then we seek outside funding. There are different grants. There is the county as well as the state. And we need to file the correct paperwork so that we can get additional funding in as it is needed.
Okay, next question. How will you ensure transparency and accountability in city operations? In other words, what measures would you take to see that the city commission and the public understand what takes place in City Hall?
The way that I would ensure transparency in city government is with open and clear communication. Everything that happens is public when it comes to municipalities, and that is why everyone is here today. But in line with that as well, we need to be sure that the minutes, the budget, everything has been looked at accordingly, and then we outline whatever issues or concerns there may be, and we create strategies to help implement those items, and we present the information to the council, to the commission, as well as to the community, because the community will be here. One of the things that we do to ensure that we are balancing that is that there are strategies. What are the strategies that we will create to help resolve these issues? Because with everything, what I have been taught as a computer programmer and moving forward, which I have moved forward with in every position that I've been with, even outside of information technology, is that everything can be resolved if you break it into measurable pieces. And so what we do is we break it into measurable pieces so we can see where the issues lie, and then we create strategies to resolve those issues.
Okay. Next question. How do you work with city officials to achieve goals?
The way we work with city officials to achieve goals, every city should have a plan or a mission or a goal for their city. And so as the city manager, I would obtain what those goals are. And then with the staff available, then we create, again, strategic plans on how we implement each of those goals. We may not be able to implement them all at the same time, so we would prioritize them. And even more so, we have the commission prioritize the goals that they have, that they've outlined, whatever their goals are for the city. And then we work with the staff, because there may be, most of the staff has been here for a while. And so we work with the staff to see what are some of the concerns they may have, or some of the roadblocks that they have faced in the past. And so we look at those things, and then again, we create plans for them. What I'm used to doing is I work with when I was working with Florida Power and Light. Florida Power and Light was the first company to win in the United States to win the Deming Award. And we were trained extensively on how that process would work. It was about seeking excellence in all we do and continual improvement. So there was a process called the fishbone process. And so you go through the fishbone process where you ask the question, why? Why is this? Why is that? How did this happen? And we can continue to ask that until you get to the root cause of what the issue is. Once you've gotten to the root cause of the issue, then again, we go through the process and make strategic plans on how we will resolve those issues.
Okay.
Or how we would create accomplish the guidelines that are the goals of the city.
Next question. What is your vision for the future of the city of Pahokee?
Could you repeat that, please?
What is your vision for the future of the city of Pahokee?
Thank you. I missed the word future. My vision, again, it's like most of the people who live in Pahokee. We need sustainable housing. We need restructured roads. We need opportunities for our youth, because we want them to be around. We want them to stay in our city, to stay with their family. But unless something changed, they don't. So when I left Pahokee, the first time I went into a business building is when I was looking for a job. That should never happen. We should be able to train our children, expose them to what's going on in the world, and take them on trips to have them prepare for their future, for the opportunities that are around us and the opportunity that are in surrounding cities as well. And so my vision, again, is that we would have sustainable outcomes in our city, that we can all live. Our seniors are here. They need to live out their life in dignity and respect, and we need to create opportunities for them to assist them with their living conditions, with their housing and everything else. We need affordable housing. We need additional housing in Pahokee as well. And so looking at those things, again, as I stated earlier, there is already, or there should be, a plan of action already there. The goal would be to look at that plan of action and then implement additional items that will be presented to residents, to the city, commissioners, as well as the city residents as well. So everyone has input in what we're looking for the city and what those goals should be. What are the issues that they are facing currently? We've heard over and over about the roads, and we understand that because we are on muck, that it's a little different than it is on the East Coast. But that does not mean that it cannot be resolved. I think that there are solutions that we can fix the roads really quickly so that we can, again, not damage our vehicles as much as we currently are, that we don't have to wait on one side of the road while someone else comes past, that we should be able to ride on the road at the same time.
Next question. What experience do you have developing and implementing long-term strategic plans?
So my experience with long-term strategic plans, I've been implementing long-term strategic plans for the last 30-plus years. With everything that I've done in leading organizations, in leading community organizations, as well as businesses, we create plans. There is a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan. That 10-year plan would be long-term. The 5-year plan could be long-term based on what the situation is. So in my role, I have attended training multiple times for different companies because everyone is a little different and they see things a little bit differently. So I've had training on how do you develop strategic plans. That was one of the processes, as I mentioned, the Deming Award earlier with Florida Power and Light. That was one of the processes that we went through, was creating strategic plans. My team won the Presidential Award for the company because of our plan and how we implemented and the results that were received. So with every plan, there is also outcomes. And so what we do is look at what is the outcome that we want. Sometimes with strategic planning, we work backwards. We determine what the output is, and then we work to achieve that output. That is the training that I received as a computer programmer as well. One of the things that I never liked to do was word problems. And when I got into computer programming, lo and behold, it's a word problem. And that is how I resolved the problems. We just work backwards from it. And so I've learned to do that over the years to make sure that I could achieve whatever the results were. And as I stated earlier, I've been creating strategic plans for the long time, long-range plans, including with the organizations that I've been in, with my church, with everything. I've been able to use the experiences that I've had, that I achieve through the different work environments and just life in general to create strategic plans.
Describe your familiarity with laws and regulation relevant to city government.
So with laws and regulations for city government, as I stated earlier, there's the Sunshine Law. The Sunshine Law helps to guide the municipalities and what they should and they should not do to ensure that they are meeting requirements. There are also guides of ethics, codes of ethics that are used throughout. And additionally, there is the policies and procedures of the city. All of those things are used to ensure that the goals of the city, the plans of the city, and that the long-term plans as well as other plans and other goals are met within the city. We follow those rules of ethics. We follow the Sunshine Law, and then in addition to that, there's the City League, the League of Cities, which I have been attending for the last 3 years. If all else fails, there is always someone in the League of Cities that will redirect you to the right way to do things. Additionally, we have an attorney. Every city has an attorney. The purpose for that attorney is, again, to ensure that the city is not violating any of those guidelines, those rules, those codes, so that the city will not get sued, and so the city stays where they need to be. Everyone has expertise, and if we work as a team, then we can resolve whatever problems and make sure that we are continuing to move the city forward without causing additional hardship for the city.
Okay. Next question. Describe your process for delegating tasks.
So my process for delegating tasks is to look at the different leadership styles as well. So I have a combination of leadership styles. And included in that, most leaders will understand that there is no one set style that fits every situation. So in dealing with those things and ensuring that I am delegating correctly, I meet with either the team or the individual to ensure that the instructions are clear and that they clearly understand what the task is at hand, so that we can go through. Not only do I present the item to them, we outline everything that's there. And when I delegate, I ask the person to repeat to me what their plans are and how they would approach this process to ensure that they clearly understand what the task at hand is. And then we go through a process of outlining the project, whatever that project is, whether it's small or large. We outline what the task would be, and then I delegate to them based on the information that has been provided and what the project itself is, the goal itself is, and what the expected time frame. When I am delegating as well, I also get feedback from the individual as far as timelines, because there will be a timeline that is applied to everything. I let them take part in that, in establishing that part line, and to determine if they need additional help. If they need additional help in the task that is being delegated, then we make sure that they have the right resources that they need so that they're not left hanging.
I'm going to ask the audience to please be quiet. We're trying to listen attentively to the speaker. If you have something to say, please excuse yourself and do that, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Next
You
question.
ready for the next one?
Yes, I am.
Okay. This is the final question. How do you prioritize competing demands on the city resources?
Repeat that, please.
How do you prioritize competing demands on the city's resources?
On resources. So the way that I prioritize based on the resources, as the city manager, I would already have known what the resources are, whether it is staff, whether it is equipment, or whatever the task may be. Based on that, we look at the timeline of when that actual item is needed, because usually there is a timeline. We'll set that timeline if not, and then we look at the skill set of the person so that we can prioritize appropriately what the time frame would be, and then what tasks would be assigned and what would take first place versus whatever. Additionally, with that, again, we have staff, you have leadership. We work with them as well. Based on the vision of the city, whatever that priority is, should be implemented should be listed on the city's list of goals, and and based on that, we determine how urgent that item is needed, and based on the task at hand that the individuals already are assigned, how likely it would be to complete that task on time, and whether it lies at the beginning or the end of the list, the chain of items that are to be completed.
Okay. Ms. Bryant, that concludes our questions. Do you have any questions for the commission?
I do. So thank you as well. I understand the process that is taking place as well, but just to ensure, does the city have a comprehensive plan that they have for the city, and has that plan been communicated to the citizens?
We have a comprehensive plan, and hopefully the majority of the citizens have access to it. We even have it, I think, listed on our web page that it can be found.
Thank you. Thank you. And the reason I ask that is because, again, everything that I would do will be based on the the comprehensive plan for the city. I wouldn't come in and create a new plan when there's already a plan in place, but I would look at how we would implement that plan. And then one of the key factors as well is to communicate that plan throughout the city, because everyone in the city should know what the plan is, and they should help to enforce or to accomplish that plan. We can all play Monday morning quarterback, but until we put forth an effort to actually help the city to move forward, then we are actually part of the problem, because we need to work together. Pahokee is a small knitted community. Everyone here pretty much knows everyone. I know everyone on the platform. I know their families. And so doing that, we make sure that everyone takes a part in the success and the accomplishments of the city.
Yeah. And to just add to that is a 10-year comprehensive plan that's required by all cities, and each year it has to be revised or updated publicly.
Correct. And I'm aware with the fact that every city has to have a plan, but I wanted to make sure that the citizens knew that as well, because it's required. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Bryant.
So the next person,
She's getting the next, will be Ms. Bussey.
the next person is Ms. Bussey. And just for the sake of transparency, Ramsey Boakley is listed on the agenda, but the HR director has indicated that he would not be interviewing today. He has declined. It was 4, but it is 3 now. Mr. Ramsey Boakley would not be interviewing.
Good evening.
Before we get started, would you like a bottle of water, Ms. Bussey?
No, thank you.
We're gonna start off by you telling the audience and the commission a little about yourself, and then I'm gonna ask you 10 questions. After those questions, you get opportunities to ask the commission question. Okay?
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. My introduction is to say good evening to everyone. I am Tammy Bussey, your interim city manager for the beautiful city of Pahokee, and I'm pleased to have the honor of interviewing for Pahokee's permanent city manager position. As previously stated in my interview for the interim city manager role, my motto is service over self, and that is why I'm standing here with strong conviction to remain with the city of Pahokee as your city manager, proud to serve our city and its residents alike. Serving in this capacity hasn't been easy, but I walk by faith and not by sight. with the understanding that God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So I'm still standing for the people and the purpose in this position. In October 2025, I stood here with 25 years of law enforcement service, 19 of those years in a supervisory capacity, 20 years with financial services experience. But today, I stand here with 6 months and 8 days of city manager experience, managing the great city of Pahokee, and for that, I am humble, and I say thank you.
Amen.
Okay. The first question, why have you applied for the city manager position with the city of Pahokee? This is a two-part question. And why do you think you are the best suited to be the city manager?
Okay, thank you for that question. Why have I applied for the position of city manager? As I previously stated back in October, I was sitting at home in retirement and also having my own business. And I was hearing the things about my hometown, Pahokee, about the condition it was in, the things that were going on in the city, and all the things that had left the city from when we grew up. And so I decided to put in for the position to come out to see how I could make a difference. I want to come back to my hometown to see if I could bring in resources to help grow the town, bring in partnerships to bring us back hotels, marina access, parks for our children. So that is my reason for applying for the position, is to see about making it better. What makes me the best candidate? Without sounding arrogant, I've been here for 6 months and 8 days, and I have given my best. I have done things in the community to bring the community together. I have made partnerships and friendships that I rebuilt with people who were no longer in Pahokee. And so I feel that I'm the best candidate because I have the passion to go out and to grow our city. I have the resources, connections to help bring things into our city. And so with the experience that I've displayed, our city didn't crash with me here the last 6 months. So I think that I can continue to make it better. And so that's why I think I'm the best person for the position.
Next question. How would you handle conflicts within the city of Pahokee?
Thank you for that question. In dealing with conflicts within the city or any organization, the first thing that you want to do is stay calm, listen to both sides, look for a neutral mindset that will allow you not to be biased. And then you look for a solution to that issue, that conflict. And then, of course, at sometimes you could bring in other people if you feel that they would help. But for the most part, I would just say have an open mindset, be neutral, listen to both sides of whatever the conflict is, and then come to a resolution that is fair to all. And that's always been my thought in dealing with conflict.
Okay, next question. Explain your understanding of the principles of city budgeting.
Okay, thank you for that question. With the experience that I've gotten over the last 6 months in dealing with the budget, I can tell you the budget principles involve balanced budgeting. You have to work to make sure that your budget is balanced, You also want to make sure that your revenues equal your expenditures. That's what a balanced budget is. And then you want to ensure that as you reach out to make purchases or seek resources, that it's aligned with your line items that come up in your budget. But for the most part, in a nutshell, a balanced budget, when you're looking at budgeting, it's just about making a balanced budget where your revenues equal your expenditures. That's where you end up with that balanced budget, and there be no issues that you would have to really answer to in times of an audit if your budget is balanced.
Next question. How will you ensure transparency and accountability in the city operations? In other words, what measures would you take to see the city commission and the public understands what take place in City Hall?
Okay, thank you for that question. In reference to transparency and accountability, it's what I have brought with me when I came. Is when I have an issue to address, sometimes it may not have to come before the commission, but I've done that. I brought it before the commission. And sometimes it, worked well, sometimes it didn't. But my thing is, as I said when I stood here back in October, is that everyone, the commission, residents, elected official, officers, employees, should be held accountable, but also the transparency is important. If you have to be clear, you have to be open, you have to be honest, and you should bring the things that need to be addressed to those who are responsible for addressing them. If I am city manager and I know that the commission has to approve the things before I can move forward with them, then they need to come to you all in the open, being transparent, not hiding anything, not covering up, not sharing things with one person I didn't share with the other. We need to make sure that we are transparent in every aspect of the position that we have taken the oath for. So transparency is important, so that way the citizens can also see what we as staff members and officers, elected officials of the city, they know that they can trust us because we're bringing it to the open meetings and they're able to see and hear what's happening with their taxpayers' dollars.
Okay, next question. How do you work with city officials to achieve goals?
Okay. How I work with city officials to achieve goals is in preparing for our meetings and our agenda for the commission meetings. One way that we can accomplish the goals is if there's something that is going to be on the agenda and we place it on there, communication would be key for us to address as an agenda review. And that's something that I would look forward to doing, is that having the agenda review so that way we can address those goals and those, those things that we are looking to work together. And so in standing here going forward, I would say the best way to work together on accomplishing them is that having those times where you could sit down, or have those as a city manager, have that time where you can sit down with the commissioners individually, because we can't meet together, all of us together, without being in a public forum. So I would like to sit with each one of them individually to see what they expect of me. I can share with them what I'm looking to do, and together we come up with the goals and the desires for the city to share with the citizens. And that way we can work on common goals, be on the same page, and then the city will see us on the same page as we accomplish those things.
Okay. Next question. What is your vision for the future of City Pahokee?
Thank you for that question. My vision is to see us thriving, to see our kids playing in the parks with the proper equipment, to see our marina full of boats and campers, to see that restaurant being used. Amen. My vision is to have other businesses come in here, and we can do it. My vision is to see a hotel. Amen. My vision is to see a grocery store. My vision is to see our roads repaired and not as bumpy as they are. My vision is to see any infrastructure, lights, or whatever we can do to make our city better. That's my vision. And that's why I'm here. And not to get off on a tangent, but it can be done. We just have to get out there and work together. We have to get out there and let people know that, hey, we have somewhere for you to stay. When you come up to the marina, you don't have to go and stay somewhere else. You can stay here because we have a hotel. We have a neighborhood Walmart. You know, we have a neighborhood Publix. My vision is to see the infrastructure strong, to see businesses here, to see hotels here, to see our own residents have businesses. Don't say we need to bring businesses in. We have to encourage our residents to become business owners as well. So my vision is to see our town looking better, sounding better, have restaurants. So I just have the vision, you know, I have a huge vision, and that's where I sit back and I just think, what can we do? I'm talking to various people about things they want to bring to Pahokee. And that's what I think, that we need to work together, open up our minds, open up our hearts, and let's work on accomplishing those goals and the vision. So my vision is to see our town with the things, even a hospital, an urgent care center, you know, those types of things that we can have here. That was my vision for the city of Pahokee.
Next question. What experience do you have developing and implementing long-term strategic plans?
Thank you for that question. And as far as strategic planning is something you have to think about. It's a vision of a plan that you want to accomplish. It takes you assessing the current situation to see where are we and where do I want to go. It takes looking at the resources that you have in your current situation to see if you can move forward to your vision. So strategic planning, the vision, assessing the situation, finding the resources, and then implementing that and working towards it. And it takes you, like I say, strategic planning. So that's, my explanation of strategic planning.
Next question. Describe your familiarity with laws and regulations relevant to city government.
Okay, thank you for that question. In the last 6 months, the experience has come in learning about those things. And I have found that our laws and ordinances, they are first governed by the statutes, Florida statutes and the laws. That's where we build our ordinances and our charter from those statutes. And by doing that, that gives us a direction on where we can go and how the city and the municipalities can impact ordinances or charters to make sure that the city follows those charters, but not interfere or overstep our boundaries as it relates to the statutes. It gives us guidance on like property taxes, things that pertain to the health and safety of our communities. Those are the things that we have to control within our ordinance and our charters, but that comes from the rules set by our statutes. and laws.
Describe your process for delegating tasks.
Thank you for that question. My process for delegating tasks starts first with me not wanting to do it myself. So that's one thing that I struggle with. My second way of delegating tasks is to look at the department or the area that it impacts. And if there's a department head that's responsible for that department, then I give them the instruction. I delegate the task to that department head to designate to the person that reports to them. That way it avoids me from meddling in their little day-to-day operations of their departments, and I can manage and oversee, but I leave it to that department head to take care of their particular department while they keep me informed. So for delegating tasks, I delegate based on the importance, based on the level of information that's provided, and also based on the level of expertise that is needed to handle that. So I would delegate accordingly. If it's something, that could be handled by someone, that's right away, not a very intricate assignment, then, you delegate accordingly. But I believe in delegating to the department head and then letting them delegate to their subordinates.
Okay. Final question. How do you prioritize competing demands on the city resources?
Thank you. How do you prioritize? Prioritization should come with, like, the urgency. How urgent is it? So you would look at making a priority is it urgent? What's the time limit on it? What resources will you need to make it happen? And so as far as prioritizing, you prioritize based on the level of importance. If you have something that can wait until Friday to do, but this one has to be done today, then that's a priority. So prioritizing is looking at how urgent is it? Do I have the resources? What will it impact if I delay on it, or if it needs to be done right away? So you make that determination based on your level of intelligence, your level of reasoning. You determine what's the priority and what can wait. And so that's how I would do the order prioritization.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bussey. That concludes your interview questions. You now get the opportunity to ask any questions to the commission.
Okay, I don't have a question, but what I would like to do, if you don't mind, if I can approach the dais, I have some folders for each of you. That's yours. Vice Mayor McDonald. If you would give me a minute to share with you the things that I have given you a bullet points on. I stand here to say it has been an honor to serve the city of Pahokee during this period of transition. My focus has been simple: to bring stability, strengthen operations, and move the city forward in a meaningful way. During my time as interim city manager, we have maintained full continuity of services while strengthening coordination, accountability, and performance across departments. Today,
You don't have to say nothing. The way he's acting is enough.
may I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Be sick behind.
Today, key positions are filled and our teams are functioning beyond expectations. We have ensured strong fiscal oversight, including reestablishing responsible management of opera and grant funds, while also securing a successful FEMA reimbursement appeal and advancing projects through the LMS portal. We have made significant progress on infrastructure by advancing the FDOT Phase 4 road resurfacing project, successfully closing out the Barfield Road reconstruction project, and continuing coordination on the McClure Road reconstruction project initiative. We have also activated long-awaited assets including the city's marina, while addressing longstanding issues such as derelict properties and improving overall community standards. In addition, we have reestablished key regulatory relationships to ensure the marina is fully operational and progressing towards its full potential. Through proactive leadership, we are addressing expired contracts and actively procuring much-needed services to complete city projects and support efficient day-to-day operations. Through NEAT grant funding, we are pursuing beautification, agriculture, and sustainable initiatives while strengthening partnerships with long-standing community stakeholders. We have also expanded opportunities across both the public and private sectors while reactivating key regional relationships to better position Pahokee for investment, collaboration, and long-term growth. Our community engagement is at an all-time high, with the reactivation of community participation and events that bring residents together and rebuild civic pride. Additionally, we have successfully activated 2 major housing developments, bringing over 100 new units, with additional projects on the horizon slated to bring an additional 100+ units, positioning Pahokee for real, measurable economic growth. We have also lobbied the state for appropriations to support critical priorities, including demucking efforts and the hardening of Eddie Rose Gymnasium, helping to strengthen our infrastructure and resilience for the future. Equally important, we have established and maintained strong relationships with our local and state counterparts, elected officials, and the business community, many of whom are present this evening. Meg. Ensuring Pahokee is connected, supported, and positioned for opportunity. Most importantly, we have laid a strong foundation for continued progress, focused on economic revitalization, service delivery, and long-term sustainability. I am not stepping into this role. I am already doing the work. I understand where the city is, the challenges we face, and the opportunities ahead. My leadership reflects stability, accountability, and results supported by a clear and actionable vision for Pahokee's future. Selecting me as your permanent city manager ensures continuity, sustained progress, and a leader who is fully invested and ready on day one to deliver for this commission and the residents we proudly serve. With the now fully staffed and highly capable leaders team in place, Pahokee is stronger than ever. Pahokee deserves strong leadership, real results, and a future we can all be proud of. And that is what I am committed to delivering. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Bussey.
The last person will be Mr. Kim Johnson.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Johnson.
Good evening. Is the mic working? Okay, good evening.
Mr. Johnson, we're going to start off with you telling us a little about yourself, and from there, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. After then, you get to ask the commission any questions.
First and most importantly, I want to say good evening to everyone. Secondly, my name is Kim Johnson, okay? My name is Kim Johnson, and I am proud to have this opportunity to interview for the position of city manager. And I'll share with you the reason why I should be your city manager. I was born and raised in Fort Pierce, Florida. And like Pahokee, Fort Pierce has had its challenges over the years. But it also has grown and now become a very successful city. All right? So let me say this. Growing up in Fort Pierce taught me a variety of things. I grew up in a household with both my parents for the first 12 years of my life. For the first 8 years of my life. And then my parents separated when I was 8, and my father got killed when I was 12. I was devastated. And I acted out in school. I got in trouble. But then I began to listen. And as I began to listen, things started to change for me. I became a. I don't want to interrupt anybody. I don't want to interrupt anybody because no, I don't want to interrupt anybody. All right. So, like I said to the board, I got myself together. I began to walk down a path of change because I began to listen, and I began to learn, and I began to know, and I began to do. I became a star athlete in high school. I also became someone who played college football. I graduated with a psychology degree from Southeast Missouri State University, where I then became a teacher, an award-winning teacher, and then I became an award-winning motivational speaker, and then I became an award-winning government advocate as a county commissioner. And so I just want to stop there and allow you to ask your questions.
Okay.
Because I don't want to prolong the time or be disrupted. Can you not disrupt me while I'm talking? That is rude.
Who is that?
That's what everybody's confused about. He didn't never go outside.
Well, I didn't even know anybody was going outside.
See what I'm talking about?
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we're in the process of interviewing. We understand that now. I wasn't aware of that myself, but we're not talking between the commission, the candidate, and myself.
I'm just saying, how's that fair to everybody?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I just wanted to put on the record, technically, this is a public meeting, so the request that the clerk made was, and I told her when she said it was a request, because just as I think in the last interview, when you all did the last interview, everybody stayed in, and I gave the same information on the record, so just so that you know.
Audience, allow the candidate to address the commission and answer the question that he's here for.
And I apologize because I didn't understand what you guys were talking about. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, I understand. I appreciate it. Yeah, I apologize. Okay? So, thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we're going to start with the questions.
Okay.
Why have you applied for the city manager position with the city of Pahokee? And this is a two-part question. Why do you think you are the best suited to be the city manager?
Well, first off, I would say the city of Pahokee is a diamond in the rough. If you look at the packets board that you have in front of you, when I first ran for office to become a county commissioner, I talked about the city of Fort Pierce and St. Lucie County being a diamond in the rough. And I talked about how part of the reason that I ran for office is because the unemployment rate was so high, it was 13%. So I ran for office. They thought that I would never qualify. I did. After I qualified, I began to create a plan. And as I began to create that plan, when I got on the board, They said you'll never be able to do anything in your first term. I pressed the board and the members. I was the only minority on that board. I pressed every individual for communities that look like ours and to do right. And not only our community, but others' community as well, because everybody's affected with bad decisions. With that being said, our unemployment rate went from 13% down to 6%. We cut it in half. And I'll share with you how we did that as the questions go on.
Next question. How would you handle conflicts within the city of Pahokee?
Well, when you're handling conflict, first of all, you have to separate parties. When you separate parties, you have to talk to everyone individually. And as you're speaking to that person individually, you help them understand how to get back on track and play their role and understand what their responsibility is. Because if you get everybody back on their role, doing what they're responsible for, it can create a level of camaraderie even without you being around each other. And in the process of doing so, you can still accomplish tasks. And not only can you accomplish tasks, but you can also gain momentum after completing the task, because everybody can celebrate the idea and the notion of what you succeeded in. And that's when you gain new momentum and create a new opportunity for success.
Next question. Explain your understanding of the principles of city budgeting.
Well, the city budget is very simple. I think that when we think about city budgeting and we think about the principles of city budget, first of all and foremost, money is there in design for it to be utilized and appropriated where it's supposed to go. Bottom line. And we have budget workshops to prove that. Part of the reason why we have budget workshops, because those budget workshops will tell you what you need to do with the money based upon inefficiencies of last year's budget, based upon your vision for this year's budget. And so when you look at the budget, sometimes there's a shortfall and you have to make up for that shortfall. Part of you making up for that shortfall is seeking out grant funding, seeking out state funding, seeking out federal funding. All of these are part of that process. Part of the reason why I can share that with you and talk about basically any question that you want to ask me is because I was able to do something very admonishable, I think. There was 3 groups within our governmental system. There was 2 cities and 1 county. When I got on the board, the first thing they said the cities would never work with the county. I said, oh yeah? They said, yeah. They said they always fighting against each other. They just would never work together. I said, okay. So what I did, my vision was port, airport, and railway. So what I did, I got both of the mayors from both cities. I got not only the mayors from both cities, but I also brought in the state representative, and I began to have the city managers and the county administrator come on a trip with me to the Port Canaveral in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. We went to the Port Canaveral. We were thinking about how we could develop our port. I created another trip, and that second trip was to the Port of Palm Beach. We came down to the Port of Palm Beach. We looked at that. That was part of me building camaraderie with staff across town, and our staff, and their board members, and our board members. And last but not least, I took everybody to down to Cocoa, to Port Canaveral, and after we had that trip, all forms of city government started working together. As a result of it, I took everybody to Tallahassee, and we went to Tallahassee, and I talked to the appropriations chair with them in the facility as well as myself. We met with higher levels of leadership. And as we began to meet with them, the first question they wanted to ask, how do you get city government and county government in the same building? How did y'all come together and work together? Because of the decision that we made. And we walked out of there, guys, with a record $126 million overall in funding for our county and multiple cities. And so it's a part of the process. And let me say this, leadership is not easy because everybody can criticize anybody. So I don't care if someone does not like you. I don't care if someone does like you. At the end of the day, people don't want to know how much you know. They want to know how much you care. And I learned this in life. Talking moves three things in life: your teeth, your tongue, your lips, nothing else.
You ready for the next question?
Yes.
How would you ensure transparency and accountability in city operations? In other words, what measures would you take to see the city commission and the public understand what takes place in City Hall?
Well, first of all, you got to build trust. Okay. Now, let me back up. I had the delightful pleasure of working with a gentleman that was one of the top county administrators and city managers in the state of Florida. The guy was phenomenal. I learned some things from him. He learned some things from me. But one of the things that I said to him, we had television. We used television as a platform. And we used television as a platform of trust. It wasn't just a board meeting. So we had a variety of shows by members of the board on television. And what I told him, I was the vice chairman of the board at the time, and I knew I was going to be chairman of the board the next year. And I told him, the county administrator, I said, look, I said, once again, people don't want to know how much you know, they want to know how much you care. I said, anything that we want to bring down the pipe for people to support, I need you to bring it on TV. I need you to bring it on television, because you can't build trust doing something behind people's back. So what we did, there was a situation that came up. Young man, not only this young man, but a variety of young people were walking to school. They were walking to school, and one of the young men was walking to his bus stop. I think it was like 6 something in the morning. There was no lights on the street for him to be seen. The young man got hit by a car and killed. So after this young man got hit by a car and killed, and we began to talk about these type of things, why we need lights on the streets, why we need roads repair, why we need sidewalks for these young people to walk on. What I did at that point, I began to allow the county administrator to educate members who were watching how we could do that. And part of it, we did raise our property tax enough not to destroy people's pockets, but enough to protect from death again. And we start putting down sidewalks, and we start filling in holes in the road. And let me say this, I understand what members of this community feel when you have holes in your road. Right now, I am a consultant on behalf of the Florida Department of Transportation. And as a consultant on their behalf, I actually know that these are opportunities where the money is and where the opportunities is to put holes. Go on, I'm sorry.
We're conducting interviews, you all. You're talking. Please excuse yourself for a few minutes if you have something to say. We don't need to hear it. We're listening to the candidate, please.
Thank you. There are holes in the road, and I'm going to tell you a story about a cousin of mine. I stayed in a community called Sheridan Plaza. He stayed in a community called Paradise Park. In that community, I had one of the staff members come to me and said, Commissioner Johnson, we're going to go over there and pave a couple of roads. What do you think about it? I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, in the other communities, how many roads do you pave? A couple. I said, okay, how many roads do they need paved? A couple. So they were gonna pave a couple of roads in other communities because they only needed a couple of roads. So what I did, I said to him, no, we don't want to do a couple of roads. We want to do all the roads the same as other communities. And they went over there and they paved every road in that community. Because at the end of the day, once again, you got to have somebody fighting for you who know what they're talking about and who have relationships that will empower the opportunity for things to change. But like I said, I work for the Florida, I work on behalf of there's a company that I work with that has a contract, so I work on behalf of the Florida Department of Transportation, and I understand all the roads needs because I'm being educated quite often on what this looks like. And that's what I really want to say earlier.
Okay. Are you ready for the next
Yes.
question? Okay. How do you work with city officials to achieve goals?
Well, first of all, I think the most important thing that people need to know, and this is why I said I probably, whether I heard the question or not, I probably was going to answer it this way anyway, but I'm going to tell you, I'll say this. When I first became a county commissioner, the first thing that I did, I visited every department. And I heard staffers say, you're a commissioner, why are you here? I said, if I don't come to your department, how will I know what you're doing? And if I don't come to your department, how will I know what you do or don't need? So I began to visit these different departments. And I began to assist and support these individuals and listen to what they have to say. The second thing that I did, I sat down with all of the commissioners one by one. Because you got to sit down with the commissioners and understand what their vision is, because they got elected for some reason outside of them just being in the seat. And I think the third thing that you do, because you got to have all stakeholders involved, the third thing you want to do is really have a community charrette, because you want to know what the expectations of your citizens are. And let me say this. I love the community that I come from. I love people in this building, whether you like me or not, because I got the love of God in me. But I will tell you this. You guys have something great here, and the devil don't like it. But things can turn around, and things will change if you just work together. And that's why you got to have, watch this, departments buy in. You got to have the board buy in. You got to have the citizens buy in. If the board gets their way, it may make the citizen dissatisfied. If the citizens get their way, it may make the board dissatisfied. But watch this. If everybody get out of the way and allow God to make a way through the abilities that he's given all of us, you can have real change. And that's why, guys, once again, I'm not saying anything to brag. I will get results. That's what I do. And at the end of the day, I want to change the way people think. I want to change the way people deal with each other. I want to change the way people listen to each other. And it can be done. I'm not disrespectful to women. I'm not disrespectful to my peers. And guess what? I believe in every one of you sitting on this, sitting at this table here, and everyone that's sitting in this audience. And part of the reason why I believe, because there was some before us that did better than us, who's passed the baton to us for us to get it right.
Okay. Next question. What is your vision for the future of the city of Pahokee?
So, just walk with me for a second. The city of Pahokee. Let me tell you what I see. Guys, you got a marina, right? A marina needs boats. One of the best things that could ever happen to Pahokee, and I think it could be done. In the city of Fort Pierce, there's Maverick boats and pursuit yachts. I believe that we can get boat manufacturing here in Pahokee. And I believe we should get boat manufacturing, because you can't have a marina and not have boats. And then you want to anchor that, and I believe the marina really should be I don't know what the name marina is, but let's just say, I'm thinking out loud. Marina West, watch this, Marina West Entertainment District. You want to put a variety of entertainment out in that area. It can be done. You use the facility as an anchor for restaurants. You got an opportunity to have sport fishing tournaments. You got an opportunity to not only have speedboat tournaments. You got an opportunity for even Yamaha to even have a manufacturing place here. All these things are in play. Then on top of that, let's talk about the airport. Guys, I think you have 400 and some odd acres worth of airport land. You got an airport that actually has, I think, 10 hangars. Those hangars should all be filled with businesses for creating jobs. You got flights on a consistent basis. But check this out. You should have a pilot academy for certification. And as these young men and young ladies start coming to this flight school, it's going to get more expensive, because everybody just want to go to school and get the certification so they can go fly. And their first residence will be here, and they'll be your taxpayers. So that's another part of it. But watch this. You have an opportunity to create, and I also see this with all this land around here, a distribution center. We could have a distribution center here. We have easy access to Martin County going one way and Palm Beach County all around going east and west. And Florida is growing at an alarming rate. And let me say this, because Florida is growing at an alarming rate, they're going to need more cold storage for goods. They're going to need more storage, period, for products. And they're going to need somewhere to put it at. Why not Pahokee? And last but not least, you can have a packaging and processing plant here because the land is fertile. Let me say this to you all. This is what I want to tell you real quick. This is the last part of the statement. Check this out. The word Pahokee, I found out what it means. It actually means grassy waters from what I understand. But watch this. Pahokee ain't just grassy waters. Pahokee, watch this. Pahokee is a place that grow beyond the ground and grow above the drown. Can't nothing hold you back. Just work together.
You ready for the next question?
Yes.
Okay. What experience do you have developing and implementing long-term strategic plans?
I've developed strategic plans at the governmental level for the county. I've also developed strategic plan for the fire district. I was a chairman of their board as well. So when you talk about strategic plans is always great to talk about. But watch this. Most important, you got to have strategic people who want to play their role. And so I think the most significant thing that you have to understand about strategic plan, the plan is no good without the people. And the people are not good if they're not working together for the plan.
Next question. Describe your familiarity with laws and regulations relevant to city government.
Well, first of all, we all know what sunshine law is. We can't be talking cross backwards and forth to one another about particular items that we're going to vote on. That's first and most important. But here's what you need to know about law. Law is there to protect people's rights. Law is there to provide people opportunity. Law is there to create a peace of mind. So local government is designed for taxpayers, watch this, to be provided services for their dollars, to be protected when situations come up that's out of their control, and to have a peace of mind knowing that they have leaders that have their best interests at heart. That's what law is for. Locally.
Describe your process for delegating tasks.
Well, that's easy. When it comes down to delegation, and let me say this, I remember my first year I used to be a head track coach at Westwood High School. So I came in, I encountered these young men. They were star athletes. And they said, Coach Johnson, I went to state last year with the relay team. I said, okay. And I'm probably gonna go again this year. I said, okay. I say, there's gonna be a difference though. We're not taking 2 to 3 people to state. We're gonna take the whole team to state. So what I had to do, I had to reframe their mind. Part of me reframing their mind was, we started training one way. In the middle of the season, I had them start training a different way. And it was wearing them out and burning them out. Because just when you think that you've gotten somewhere, you realize you're only halfway there. And I wanted them to realize that. They started listening more. They started doing more. And as a result of them listening more and doing more, I took my team to state, first in the district, second in the region, third in the state. And so when it's all said and done, people want their talent to shine. But you have to put them in a position to shine. And one thing that I like about track is one of those sports whereas you have to put a person in a place that they're the best at. And so when it comes to government, if we put people in place that they're good at and they do a great job, they're gonna feel great about it. And as they're feeling great about it, they're gonna have success. And as they have success, they're gonna be a better asset to the community. They're not gonna talk about the community, they're not gonna talk about each other. They're going to find a way to see something positive.
Final question.
Okay.
How do you prioritize competing demands on the city resources?
Well, I would say this, that I will lean on my background in Tallahassee, which is already proven, at the state of $100-something million. Also, one of the things that I'll share with you is this. I had a conflict. The New York Mets, of course, the New York Mets do spring training in my county. So they came to me, they said, Commissioner Johnson, we want to take you over to Fort Myers. I said, okay. Because we want you to see the facilities over there. So I go over there and I take a look at both the facilities that they want me to take a look at. And I told the person that was over the Mets, I said, let's talk, let's continue to have our conversation. There's no yes on this project, but let's talk. So next year come, I'm chairman of the board, I get a call, and the call was the Mets saying, Commissioner Johnson, this deal is about to drop. It's not going anywhere. I said, huh? He said, yeah, if you don't save the deal, it's done. We're gone. We're leaving here. So what I did, I sat down with the Mets. I met with them, sat down with them, wanted to know what their asks were. Of course, staff was very smart because the staff did not want to tax out the citizens. So this was a very touchy situation. On one hand, you had staff did not want to tax out the citizens. You had an organization that a variety of businesses in that area depended on spring training for their businesses to thrive during that time, for long-term benefit of them paying their bills for the rest of the year. So I sat down with our staff members. I sat down with the New York Mets, both of them individually, and this is what I was talking about earlier when you talk about roles and conflict and responsibilities and those type of things. After I sat down with those guys and I began to talk them through, and even the money part, the conclusion that we draw was that we could do a deal, but it would be longer than initially asked. The beauty about it, once we got on the same page, I thank God I was sitting in the room in Tallahassee in the governor's cabinet, and they signed over a $20 million check to St. Lucie County because my relationship and our relationship as the board with the New York Mets. And we were able to save the deal, we were able to save jobs, and we were able to create jobs as a result of it.
Mr. Johnson, that concludes your interview questions. Now you have the opportunity to ask the commissioners anything.
Well, commissioners, let me say this. I don't envy your role. Been there, done it. Part of the reason why I believe I should have the job is because I understand what your role is. And not only do I understand what your role is, I'm a man of accountability. Because at the end of the day, I hold myself accountable first. And so knowing that you will be someone that will reside over me as a leader, I will tell you the truth at all times. Good, bad, or indifferent. And part of the reason why I would tell you the truth all the time, because the board's character is at stake. And guess what? The community's character at stake too. Because when you do the right thing, they need to give you credit for where you deserve it. And when they do the right thing, they need the credit where they deserve it too. Nobody's cut short in here. And at the end of the day, once again, and I would tell you, people do not want to know how much you know. They want to know how much you care. So I want to ask the board this question. What is that one thing that you can think of right now? And one can answer it, or you all can answer it. What is that one thing that you believe in your head and heart of hearts that will gain the trust of the citizens back to the board and gain the board trust back to the citizens at a whole nother level? And I'm not saying that there's no trust now, but what I am saying, how do we get that trust to the next level? So what's your role in ensuring and empowering the citizens as a leader to believe in what we do on a daily basis? That's my question.
Thank you.
My response would be transparency and accountability. Simple as that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
On behalf of my family to your family, God bless you. God bless the city.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for your time.
That concludes our interview process as far as the answering and asking the questions. I'd like to thank all the candidates for participating in this interview. Just for clarification, HR, we do have where we have total scores, and you can receive up to 55, the highest. I think the 55 was there probably to evaluate the introduction, their opening statement, Other than that, we just need to just disregard that and look at the 10 questions, 5 each would be a total of 50 if they got a total of 5 for each answer. So I'm not sure, you may be able to explain where the 55 come from. I'm just assuming it was possibly the opening statement, but I'm not quite sure. I don't want to speak for you.
So there's a section on there for, that is not included if the person is part of like the armed services, like if they had been in the Army, they get a additional up to 5 points. That's what that
Okay.
additional 5 is for.
Okay. Out of the,
Mr. Mayor,
go ahead.
if it's not a part of your process that you see in front of you, I would advise that you not
Yes.
do that.
Okay.
And none of the applicants were, according to
Okay.
the application, did not.
Okay. So, Commissioner, what we'll do is add up the scores. We'll actually be able tonight to share your score and your candidate of your choice. And from that, we would determine who would be the permanent city manager if we decide to go that route. Also, the scoring will come in too, is good and necessary because, for instance, if the #1 candidate for some reason is unable to reach a contract agreement, that may move us to go to the second one. Or in our charter, it states that this is a exclusive employment of the city of Pahokee, meaning you cannot have a second job. So if the person who's chosen, if that's the case, have the second job, they can always resign or whatever it takes. But this is a charter requirement from us. This is not coming from the city commission. Our charter dictate that. So to violate that, we're actually violating the charter if we do that. So as a way around it, the person can resign whatever paid position they're in. This is an exclusive position. This is not a part-time employment. We need a full-time city manager here working on behalf of the city of Pahokee.
Commissioners, I just want to remind everybody that the documents that you have should be turned in to the clerk when you're finished entirely, in its entirety, because those are the official public records, and they should be available.
I put a note for them to give to me.
Okay.
Okay, this is how we would do it this way. We're gonna start from Commissioner Scott, and we'll move to Vice Mayor Williams, Commissioner McDonough, myself, and Commissioner McPherson. You're gonna name first your preference of who you would like to see appointed as the permanent city manager and give the score. The score is going to be important again if we have to have a second place person to fill in or whatever, or we may decide if that don't work out, we may end up doing it over again. I'm just saying.
What you want me to do, just give the name?
Yeah, we're gonna say, you're gonna name your preference and give the score for that person. That should be hopefully the highest person you rated in the score.
All right, I select Tammy Bussey, 39.
Vice Mayor Williams.
Okay, my highest score is Brenda Bryant with a 42. 42.
We still in commission meeting. Whoever talking out in the audience, please. Commissioner McDonough,
Tammy Bussey.
could you give her score?
46.
Brenda Bryant, 49.
Brenda Bryant, 43.
Based on the preference, it would be Brenda Bryant. Come on. Mr. Acton. Ma'am, you're out of order. Please leave. Please leave.
Shame on y'all back. Shame on y'all self. Shame. Shame. Keep standing there looking like a wolf. Back way. Go everybody in the door.
Come back. Get it come back.
Y'all enjoy y'all retirement. Enjoy y'all retirement. That's all. Come on, baby. She ain't need any stress in the way. You okay? They can't get there. Keep on stoning everything. Hear me saying well. Well, okay, girl, I am stoning out.
Based on the based on the majority preference of Ms. Bryant having the highest score and the majority vote, I'll entertain a motion for the appointment of
Mr.
Ms.
Mayor,
Bryant.
I should read the
Okay.
resolution into the
Okay.
record. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, appointing, is it Brenda Bryant? Brenda Bryant. I want to make sure I have the correct name.
That is the correct name.
Okay.
Brenda
Brenda Bryant as the permanent city manager, providing for adoption of representations, providing for appointment, providing for compensation, providing for an effective date.
City Commission, having heard the resolution read into our minutes by our city attorney outlining the appointment, if this passed, of Brenda Bryant as the new permanent city manager of the city of Pahokee, pending contract and the other proper documents that need to go along with the job. I'll entertain a motion for that effect.
Mayor Bab, I move that we accept Resolution 2026-11.
Second.
It has been moved by Vice Mayor Williams and properly seconded by Commissioner McPherson for the movement of that resolution to name Brenda Bryant our new permanent city manager. Call for questions. My question would be, this was a fair process. We all have different opinion. I think the majority spoke and say this was the person they felt did the best in the interview or would do the best in moving our city forward. And hopefully we all can work with our new incoming city manager. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams.
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson.
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald.
Yes.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion passed by unanimous vote.
Mayor Bab, there are some additional items that have been added to the agenda by the commission. Would you like me to read the first one?
I didn't find my agenda. Okay. Next item on the agenda, we don't have any consent agenda
Mayor
items.
Bab,
No.
it's two additional resolutions. So we
The
have
add-on
the
resolutions?
I know, I'm just reading the agenda as it's presented, just
Okay.
saying we don't have any of those
Okay.
items. I got it. No consent agenda items, no old business, no public hearings, no ordinance. We do have a resolution. First resolution is Resolution 2026-11.
And that passed.
That was a resolution that was passed. Then we had two add-on resolutions. First add-on resolution, I believe, was 2026-14.
12.
That's 12. Yes, sir. I can read it into the record. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, amending the signatories for various bank accounts of the City of Pahokee at PNC Bank, N.A., recognizing Tamara Dowdell, Finance Director, as an additional signatory to comport with this resolution and with PNC banking requirements, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
And again, Mayor Bab, what this resolution does is it allows for the addition of Ms. Tamara Dowdell, the new finance director, to be added to the PNC banking accounts as a signatory and be able to perform her job duties.
Okay. Having heard Resolution 2026-12, properly read into the minutes by our city attorney, properly explained by our city clerk, what is your preference?
Mayor Bab, I move that we accept Resolution 2026-12.
Second.
It has been moved and second. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Commissioners. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next resolution is Resolution 2026-13. This was a second add-on. Attorney, City Attorney.
Yes, sir. One moment.
Okay.
Mayor Bab,
Yes, thank you.
in compliance with our charter and city code, I'm going to recuse my vote for the finance director.
And so, Commissioner, you will fill out the clerk will have the proper form for that, and you can fill out that form. I'll go on to reading the next item to the record. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Pahokee, Florida, appointing a vice mayor pursuant to Article 2, Section 2.04B of the City of Pahokee's Charter, providing for adoption of representations, providing for an effective date.
And again, Mayor Bab, with this resolution, per charter, the commission is required to appoint a vice mayor each year, each April of every year. So what this resolution does is it allows for that process to take place, and the selection would be within your field to select.
City Commission, having heard Resolution 2026-13, properly read into the minutes by our city attorney, properly explained by city manager, city attorney, city clerk, I'm sorry. I'll entertain a motion or a recommendation for the appointment of the vice mayor.
I motion that we make Commissioner McDonald.
A second.
Okay, it has been moved by Commissioner McPherson and properly second by Commissioner Scott for the appointment of Commissioner McDonough as the incoming vice mayor. Call for questions. Hearing none, are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Calvin Williams,
Yes.
and Mayor Bab.
Yes. Motion passed by unanimous vote. Next, we'll have the report of the mayor. Just remove that and not have a report at this particular meeting. Report of the city manager, which currently we won't have a report of the city manager.
That is correct, but we have some announcements if.
Okay. Report of the city attorney.
No report this evening. Thank you.
Future agenda items of the commission, if any. Hearing none, we'll move on. Go ahead.
I would like to, I don't know how soon, but I would like to have a town hall because we have a situation in our community right now. I mean, it's probably already handled with our residents being displaced, and we might need to get some directions on that so we all be on the same page.
There's a second on that.
Second.
Been moved in second. Call for questions. Hearing none. Are you ready for a vote? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McPherson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor McDonald,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Calvin Williams.
Yes.
Mayor Bab.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't know if I need to add it to it, but, you know, even if we have some people that would like to, resources and stuff, that we can probably have them to the table at the workshop. I don't know if that's feasible or not. But we'll just have a discussion.
For a future agenda item, and I want to push this even further than a future agenda item, but I'll refer to the city attorney to see if it's appropriate or not. We just appointed a newly appointed city manager. It's probably gonna take maybe a week or two before she can get on board and get all her paperwork and everything complete. However, I would like to see us personally, publicly thank interim city manager Tammy Busty for her work that she done in the last 6 months.
You don't wanna do that.
However,
She better work for it. The bus ain't none of your damn slave.
ma'am, you need
She
to,
better work for it, that's what I said. The bus ain't give them nothing, let them work all that the bus need. And stop trying to have sex with your daughter.
I believe strongly at this time, we need to appoint an interim city manager and receive.
Mr. Mayor,
I think we can appoint our
you've
one.
just appointed a permanent city manager, and under your charter, it doesn't allow you to, you've made the appointment. That's who you have under your charter. So starting tomorrow, that person should be, available or, whatever they need to do. But you wouldn't need to do anything in the interim under your charter.
Okay. Then at that point, I think what I need to say then, we need to terminate Ms. Bussey's service employment to the community.
You don't have to automatically,
So
under your
it's-
charter, it's
okay.
terminated as soon as you appoint a permanent person. So there's nothing that you need to do. You will need to pay the severance
Severance
that is
pay.
due to her based on the number of months that she's been employed with the city. But under your charter, you don't need to do anything
Of
else.
course, HR would have to get all of the keys and all of her property that belongs to the city, including the vehicle and everything.
And there is a time period with which you
Okay.
have to make that payment. And so you want to look at, and I'll find it for you in the charter if you need it. But I think it maybe the next pay period. So that needs to happen fairly quickly.
Okay. Any other thing for future agenda items? Anyone have any things they need to add? We want to try to expedite this in process and finish up if we can. Hearing that, we'll move now to the general comments of the public comment. City Clerk, do we have any public comments card from the public?
Yes, sir, we have several. They filled out at the beginning. I'll call their names. If they're not here, then we can, if you guys choose to, we can move to the next person. The first person is Antoinette Kelly. She's gone. Cynthia Hall. What's your pleasure? I guess it's, what it. So
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Porter? No, he's gone. Mr. Love is gone. Aaron Taylor?
Hi, Aaron Taylor, ARC Development Global once again. I'll be really brief. With the appointment of a new city manager, some of you know that I've been really trying to get the One North Lake project off the ground. I got the fire department plans approved. They've been in my car, not knowing what was going to happen with the situation. I just need some contact person to make sure that the progress we've made thus far doesn't get stifled in any way. Because as you guys also know, we got approved for $3.2 million in gap funding from Palm Beach County, which is tied to a timeline. That being said, I don't know the timeline at which it takes to follow the policies and charter that you need to get the new city manager in place and up to speed, but I need to speak to her as soon as she's able to have that conversation to make sure that we can meet the timeline and not lose the 4 years of progress that it took us to get to this point. So just want your support in that. Thank you.
Yes, you have it. This is going to be a quick process. It's not going to take long at all, I don't think, to get her on board and at City Hall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next person is Lolita Sobers. She's gone. And the last person is Nathaniel Holmes. He's gone. So that concludes all of the public comments at this time.
Okay. And we move to comments of the City Commission for the good of the order. And I'll start with Commissioner Mike Fearson.
Love you all, ain't nothing you can do about it. That's it for me.
Thank you. Commissioner Mike Donald.
Irregardless of the outcome here on today, I'm a part of this community, and I have been for as long as I can remember. And I certainly am of the mind that I want to see Progress Pahokee manifest itself here in Pahokee. So as I always say, I want to solicit and encourage the help and support of our entire community to join us in our efforts to progress Pahokee. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Williams.
I want to say good evening to all the residents. I want to say thank you to everyone that was listening tonight. And I just want all the residents to know the decisions that I make, they're the decisions that are for the best of Pahokee. And I look forward to continue to work with this commission and the new city manager to move Pahokee forward. Have a good night.
Commissioner Scott.
Yes. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out and watching. And I'd really like to thank Ms. Bussey for the work that she put in the time. And but the majority spoke, so nothing we can do about that. But we're just gonna welcome Ms. Bryant on the board, and hopefully that we can continue to work to get things done. Good night.
Commissioners having all business brought before us being taken care of. I'll entertain.
I would like to say something at your 5 minute left, city manager, if you let me to, please. I just want to stand here and say thank you all for allowing me to serve the last 6 months. I want to say congratulations to Ms. Bryant. I wish you the best. I want to thank all the ones, even the ones who have left, for standing here with me. Because as I say, what God has for you is for you. For those who, whatever, wasn't professional or it was personal, hey, to God be the glory. But I just want to say it's been a pleasure. I've learned a lot in these last 6 months because I didn't come in with the experience. I was qualified. I had the knowledge. I didn't have city manager experience. I have it now. So what God has for me is for me. So I wish the city the best. I still think I'm the best, but another decision was made, and congrats. We grew up together. I wish you the best, and I'm here for you because that is not me. So congratulations, may God bless you. I wish you the best, and I just thank God for PBSO and all of you for being here. And once again, thank you for the experience and for the time. Y'all have a good one.
Can I say one last thing? I want to say to Ms. Bryant, too, congratulations. I'm not overlooking you. I'm just, I want to congratulate you, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
I'll entertain a motion for the adjournment of this meeting.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Has been moved in second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second.
McDonald second. Call for question, hearing none, ready for a vote. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Calvin Williams? Commissioner Calvin Williams?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McDonald?
Yes.
Commissioner McPherson?
Yes.
Commissioner Scott?
Yeah.
Mayor Bab?
Yes. Meeting adjourned at 9 p.m. Yes, ma'am. Okay. 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 Okay.